My wife went on a trip, she left me alone, and when she leaves me alone, I come up with stupid ideas. In this case, I came up with the idea of traveling from China to the south of Vietnam, trying to do it alone, speaking Chinese, Mandarin, and Spanish. And the thing is, after doing a brief research, I realized that both Spanish and Chinese are two of the most spoken languages on the planet. And if we add the number of native Spanish speakers with native Chinese speakers, the number is even higher than the people who speak English as a second language. So the question came to my mind, how feasible would it be to travel across a country like Vietnam, speaking only in Chinese and Spanish, in Spanish with you all to explain what's happening, and if we happen to meet any Spanish speakers as well, and Chinese as a second language to communicate with most people. For this, I simply applied for a visa to enter Vietnam, which through an agency is quite fast. They actually had it ready for me in a day. And my plan is to take a train to the city of Nanning, then a bus to the border, and after that see what happens. And considering that I've never been to Vietnam and I don't know if I'll be able to communicate in the languages I'm allowed to use, well, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little nervous, but we'll do the best we can. For this trip, we'll have to be pretty minimalist, so I'm only going to take the essentials. 5 pairs of underwear, 5 t-shirts, 5 pairs of socks, and a wad of cash. Exchange money since we pay with phones here, but maybe not in Vietnam, though I'm not sure. It's very important. An old wallet in case it gets stolen, a card in case I need to withdraw money, the batteries and the camera I'm using to record this video. Our journey begins on September 15th at 6:22 in the morning at the North Station in the city of Shenzhen. I have no idea where we're going to end up in the next 10 days, but that's the beauty of this adventure. For now, the only thing I know is that we're going to take the bullet train from the city of Shenzhen to the city of Nanning, which is in Guangxi province, where the border with Vietnam is located. And it would be nice to be able to cross on foot, especially because of the history of that border, but I'll tell you more about it when we get there. In the meantime, what do you think? Shenzhen North Station? It's impressive, and it's just one of many in this city. And now it's quite early, but normally there would be a lot of people here with their suitcases waiting for their trains. Sometimes groups of 10 or 15 people just lie on the floor. And before there were people who would spend the night outside the station to save on a hotel night, but nowadays they don't allow that anymore. Hello, thank you. What do you think about how big the North Station of Shenzhen is? In fact, when it opened in 2011, it was the second largest station in all of southern China, just behind Guangzhou Station. That's why it's not surprising that people compare it to an airport. It has 11 platforms and 20 tracks for different trains, and it's one of the busiest in the whole country. It always makes me nervous how late they start checking the tickets, and it's 6:50 and the train leaves at 6:59. We still need to walk to the platform. As a foreigner, you have to scan your passport, and if it doesn't work, they enter it directly into the machine. Many times we've barely made it, so be careful because it's not uncommon to miss trains because of things like this. This is potentially the last Chinese train we're going to take. From here on, they'll probably all be Vietnamese trains where we won't be able to speak English, only pure Chinese. Well, the adventure begins at Nanning Station. Now we have to figure out how to get to the border with Vietnam because I have no idea, and as far as I know, we're still several hours away from the border. If we caught a train, it would take 12 to 14 hours to reach Hanoi, but I don't think we can take it. Because I would need a visa attached to my passport, and I only have the electronic visa, so I don't think I meet the requirements. But that doesn't mean there's no way to cross, because with the electronic visa, there are different ports where I can do it. Let's ask here where they sell the tickets. Oh wow! Forget it, there are no counters anymore. Before you could buy tickets here. These used to be all the ticket booths, but nowadays I think there are only the machines. Over here there's a transportation service that takes you to Hanoi, apparently in these little vans, but it's closed and some people were just leaving. I asked them how I could hire the service, but they didn't know how to tell me, they just closed up and left.
Where are you headed?
To Hanoi?
Those don't leave here.
Can I buy the tickets here?
You have to go to the central station. The trains to Hanoi only leave from there.
The ticket to take the train from Nanning to Hanoi can only be bought at Nanning Station. And I'm at Nanning East, so I'm going to take a taxi to the other station to see if I can buy it from there. The army or something similar is marching behind me. But anyway, I think you can't record them because in some other parts of the country we've come across military vehicles and soldiers. And if they tell you not to record them, let's see if they do the same thing to us here. In the taxi? Hello to Nanning Station. Trains to Hanoi leave from there, right?
Yes.
Do you think you can travel in Vietnam without speaking English?
If you're near the border with China, yes. In the rest of the country, for simple things, yes.
The taxi driver was very kind to me. He even helped me call the station to ask if I could buy the tickets. They told him he had to come here to ask. I was left wondering if he overcharged me or not because he charged me 58 yuan when the DD cost 19. We're arriving at Nanning Station now. This entrance is unique. I haven't seen one like it before. But here we're going to ask about the international train tickets to see if it's possible to take it. Here's the ticket office. Here, in theory, we should be able to buy the train ticket to Vietnam.
It's better if you take a bus to the Dongxing border and cross on foot. I don't know if you can do it through another entry point.
Is there no border crossing in Pingshan?
Yes, there is.
Then to Pingshan, it was recommended to me, but don't worry, I'm just curious.
From here, buses only go to Dongxing. For Pingshan, go to the East Station. Take Metro Line 1 to the station. Understood?
Understood. Thank you, thank you. Well, in fact, you can buy a ticket if you don't have a visa attached to your passport. The electronic version won't work for them. And the other options are to go to a town called Pingxiang, another one called Dongxin, or simply take a bus from Langdong Station. So now we're going to the bus station to see if it's possible to take one from there that will take us across to Hanoi. Or maybe we'll just have to reach the border and figure out how to cross. What a shame. I arrived at the East Nanning Station, then I came to the Nanning Station to buy the tickets, and now they're sending me back to Langdong to catch the bus. Anyway, this is where you need to come. I get lost so you won't. And I found it interesting that here in the city of Nanning I had to buy a ticket for the subway or a token for the subway, when in many other parts of the country you already use your Alipay and have no problem, but here it doesn't work for some strange reason. How about these panda chargers? They're cute. You can charge your phone while waiting for the subway. I haven't seen that elsewhere. It's useful and cool. These refrigerators are everywhere now. All you have to do is scan the QR code and the door opens automatically so you can take what you want. And I still don't understand how they do the calculation because look, I could take one, I could take two, and it calculates it automatically and very accurately. Without no Aliyah, we have to use cheap recording tricks. This is Langdong Station. It's the bus station, and for a bus station, it's pretty big. Usually taking the bus means an adventure awaits you. And look, what a bus station. It's really nice compared to the bus stations we've been to in other places. Honestly, it's really nice.
Where to?
To Hanoi? What time is the earliest one?
At 7:40 a.m.
Can I cross with an electronic visa?
Oh, I don't know what to say.
I managed to buy the tickets here. The only problem is that when they asked for my visa, we realized that the entry date isn't until tomorrow. They recommended that I shouldn't take the bus today because they probably won't let me in and the bus would have to leave me stranded there at the border. So what's going to happen is that tomorrow at 7:40 a.m. we're going to take a 7-hour bus ride to Hanoi. But well, that gives us time to explore the city of Nanning, which is a very beautiful place and that we really haven't had the chance to see. I'm going to find a guide on Xiaohongshu, which is like China's Instagram, to see what we can find around here. Look at all the food outside the station. Here, for example, they have barbecue. It's like chicken and some sausages if you want. I've never tried that before, but it's never too late to do it. And over here we have peanuts. Hello, peanuts, corn, sweet potatoes. How much are the sweet potatoes?
8 yuan for half a kilo.
I'll take a small one, please. Sweet potatoes are an excellent source of nutrients, as far as I know. That way we avoid the embarrassment of having to visit a McDonald's because honestly, many times when you're traveling, you crave something familiar. And since in China, the only thing you can usually find that's similar to what you'd have at home is a McDonald's. I have to confess that I eat there frequently, but today won't be like that. What I love about this country is you'll never run out of great food options. These sausages are suitable for everyone. Because even though they might look like they're made of meat, they're actually made from vegetable flour, so anyone can eat them. My mother didn't believe me then, since she's been a lifelong vegetarian. And since I was little, we were always trying to trick her into eating a little bit of meat, but anyone can eat this. On the outside, it has a powder usually used for grilled meat, adding lots of flavor. I think I would dare to say that they add a little bit of sugar because it tastes a bit sweet on the outside. It's also quite crunchy, and that gives it a delicious touch. Now that I've finished eating, we're heading to a place the sausage vendor recommended, which is supposedly 7 kilometers from here. For that, we're going to rent one of the city's electric scooters. Alright, let's go for a ride. Our next destination is Qingzhou-san. What is it? What's going to be there? I have no idea. Let's trust the Lord of the Sausages. Come on, how can it be raining when it's sunny? Everyone's gonna stop to put on their raincoat and I don't have one. But I'm surprised at how well the street is designed for electric scooters. Unlike in Shenzhen, here they actually have special lanes so you don't have to ride on the sidewalk rushing all the pedestrians. The truth is that wasn't considered in Shenzhen then. Since there were no electric motorcycles then, most people used bicycles. But, well, honestly, it is a bit uncomfortable. Well, we've arrived at Qingzhou-san. I think it's like an amusement park where they have capybaras and other things, but honestly, I don't really feel like going in. I mean, it looks really nice, but we came to see the city, not an amusement park. If you're staying longer in Nanning, it's definitely worth it, but for me, it's already late and I only have one day. So?
Do you speak Chinese?
Yes.
You like alcohol?
Yes.
Join us for a drink.
What are you drinking, Baiju?
Yeah, are you in?
Alright.
Follow us.
Did you bring your Baiju?
Yes.
I randomly made some friends while recording when they invited me to drink alcohol with them. I said, well, okay, let's see what happens. And they took me down to a shopping mall where they had a bottle of Miju and another of Baiyu, which are very traditional liquors here in China. And we started drinking.
Hello, young man.
Hello.
How do you speak Chinese so well?
No, I'm still learning.
You speak it very well.
It's just for fun.
Well, now we can be friends. Welcome to our country.
Thank you.
We're lucky to have you visit us.
I've watched some soccer games from Mexico.
I want to make a toast with you.
Go, go, go!
It's a pleasure to meet you. Now I have new friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to China.
Welcome to China.
Thank you. Let's toast to China.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's play a game.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, or scissors?
You lost.
You lost. It's your turn to drink.
Now you and me, ma'am. Rock, paper, or scissors? Rock, paper, or scissors? Rock, paper, or scissors? No, I lost. Brothers, one last round and we're out. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not only that, they were inviting me to go out to a bar with them at night. And I'm thinking about it, but honestly I'm scared because I have to leave really early tomorrow. The bus to Hanoi leaves at 7 in the morning, and it could get dangerous if I go out with them and suddenly I have too many drinks because I usually don't drink. Maybe I won't get up tomorrow? Look at how many people come here to the park in this intense heat to play cards, to play mahjong. And this is something very common that is already hard to find in Shenzhen. Surely there will be... But in most of the big city parks, there are always retired people dancing, playing cards, and so on. For example, here's the dance section, and as you saw earlier, the underground area is where people gather to drink. But this is the nice thing about walking around the city and being open to whatever happens. While walking through downtown Nanning, I came across a street that's entirely dedicated to selling sound equipment for karaoke. And you have no idea how popular these machines are here in China. Practically every park has 1 or even 10 elderly people singing. On machines like these, they have their screen, the lyrics of the songs appear here, and they have their microphone. And for some reason, it's not enough for them that people around can hear them. The louder the speaker, the better. And many times they blast the parks with the loud sound of their speakers, and you have 3 or 4 of them competing, almost like they're seeing who has the biggest speaker. But it happens even more in cities like this one, which is a second-tier city. What curious buildings I'm seeing in front of me. They're quite narrow and uneven. Some are taller than others, so it gives you an impression as if you were in Amsterdam, where there are very irregular buildings like these. But then you look the other way and see huge apartment buildings like these, which really contrast, don't they? It's as if these little apartments were imported from a completely different city because they don't fit with anything around here. Interesting buildings, right? It looks like stairs, but it's actually the building's design. Who could have come up with this? Now we're at the Nanning market. Let's see if it's like the one in Yangshuo, where it's very common to find hare meat, dog meat, and cat meat. That's because people in Guangxi province eat a lot of it. For example, here you can find ducks and chickens in a little basket, the rice steamers, which are a must in every Chinese home. Durian, the world's smelliest fruit. Definitely, no matter where you walk through a Chinese market in the country, you will always find things that you don't have in your country, like the fish tanks. Look, a shrimp just got out. A shrimp got out. Every time I try to catch it, it escapes from me.
Let me handle it, Guero. Look.
I see now. Look how many fish there are here. Which one tastes the best?
This one.
I'm telling you, markets in China are a curious experience. Suddenly a shrimp jumped and I missed it. The lady said, "Come on, don't be afraid." And look, what might look like a regular chicken shop is actually a duck store. This is all duck meat. Here, by the feet, you can tell that this is a duck and this is a chicken. And there's also black chicken pigeon meat, which was also eaten in Maimei Tepek. Lovely and dear. And it's no joke, I had a friend named Hamlet, whose grandfather was an expert at catching wild pigeons. He would set up traps with little boxes, you know, the classic box where you put a stick and a string and then you pull it. And that's how he would catch several pigeons and eat them. Man, there's chaos with electric motorcycles, cars, electric trailers, and there are even tricycles, the ones where people have their little dog riding in the tricycle. And I'm realizing that here food, fruit, and vegetables are much cheaper. Keep in mind that we're in a city with lower purchasing power. Although it's no longer poor, the city was among the least developed areas in the country for years. In fact, Guangxi province was among the 3 poorest in China for a long time. Nowadays, Nanning, which is the city we're in, is considered a second-tier city. The alleys in this city really remind me of the ones in Guangdong. The apartment buildings are really close to each other. And so these dark alleys are created which can teleport you from one part of the city to another without you even noticing. And that's happened to us in Shenzhen. Suddenly you go into a little alley and get lost. Look, this is like a treatment for pain. Here, infrared lights massage his arm, maybe like a bone setter. Do you treat back pain?
Yes, my fee depends on the duration. I use this medicinal ointment.
How much do you charge?
100 yuan for half an hour.
And what is this?
Moxibustion.
Do you have time today?
Not today.
Tomorrow, yes.
Greetings to the camera. How did you do that to yourself?
Playing basketball, I fell and my collarbone popped out.
You're also hurt here.
Yes, my spine too. Since I'm very tall, I'm always looking down.
Because we Chinese are short.
No, it's just that my wife is short.
She looks up at you all the time.
Yeah, there's no other way.
Next time, look for a Chinese girlfriend.
What did you think of the street treatment for pain? She was giving him a massage with something that had incense burning inside. This therapy is known as Igio. And if you haven't seen the video where they took away all my back pain, they did it to me too, but in a different way, because they put ginger all over my back. Then they set it on fire. It sounds dangerous, but it was done by a professional in an official establishment. But in this case, they were doing it on the street. I think the risk of getting burned is high if you don't know what you're doing. But honestly, I would be willing to try it, because many times these kinds of street doctors depend on their reputation. If people don't feel better, they won't return. I came across a stand selling medicines, or rather remedies, let's call them remedies, where there was a pretty graphic little box of 2 people in positions. It was said to be an herbal cream for relieving erectile dysfunction. He wouldn't let me record his medicines, but he had something for every ailment. Now we're arriving at the Chaoyang area, which is like the commercial district of the city of Nanning. In fact, right in front of us is Walmart. In case you didn't know, there are Walmarts all over the country. And although the products may vary, the truth is that they still maintain the low price policy. Now we're in the very heart of the city. And probably when Noelia sees this, it's going to look very familiar to her. Because on Hainan Island, there are several cities that have this type of construction known as chilo. They're basically gateways designed to protect the consumer during rainy seasons, windy times, and even from the sun. So this entire commercial area, which consists of 3 streets and 2 alleys, is designed in the same way as the portals would be in Mexico of the city, dating back to colonial times. Also, it's very interesting how the architecture mixes, because if we turn right here, suddenly it's traditional Chinese architecture, but if we look back, it looks like colonial or European architecture. It's interesting. We're already arriving at one of the most famous parts of the city, which is known as Chaoyangmen, or the Gate of the Rising Sun. And these used to be the watchtowers that were found at the gates of all Chinese cities. Normally, they were accompanied by a great wall, but in this case, the wall. I understand it was demolished because it wasn't convenient to have it in the city center. Even the now famous tower was demolished. In fact, this is a reconstruction to give the city a view, and it really stands out a lot against the buildings in the background. I'm going to sit over there, relax and rest. The video is just starting because actually the point is to cross Vietnam and try to communicate in Chinese Mandarin. They call it the Tower of the Rising Sun for a reason. Look at this amazing view. Unfortunately, you can't go up because I'm sure that from up there the view would be really beautiful toward the mother river of Nanning, which is the Yong River. In fact, the Yong River is so important to this city that some people also call it Yong City. I wonder if people come here to swim in the summer. Can you swim here?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you come in winter too?
Yes.
But isn't it cold?
More or less.
It's like your personal pool.
If I don't come, I get cold.
What a wonderful bath we had. And also a really interesting conversation. The lady was telling me about her children, about how much they liked living here, but they had to move to the city of Shenzhen and then to Shanghai for work reasons. Though they invited her to live with them, she didn't want to leave her lifestyle in Guangxi, because life is not only cheap, but there are also fewer people and the pace of life is much slower. In fact, she told me that she lives right in the building that's back there. When the weather's like this, she comes to the river to swim daily. I don't know if it's clean, but she's 80 years old and nothing has happened to her. So I think we'll be perfectly fine. And if tomorrow you see me with rashes all over my face, well, then we'll know that maybe Mexicans aren't immune to the Yong River. Excellent look. It suits you very well.
The sun looks beautiful.
We're not immune, Yong. We're immune like a river. This is my new buddy. Goodbye, brother. So many people. Just a moment ago we were swimming peacefully down there, and now we're crossing the river to reach a place said to resemble a European castle. It's funny, someone left a motorcycle here for no reason. Maybe we can rent it. This worked out perfectly for us. What a wonderful road. We didn't visit any major tourist spots or ancient temples today, but simply strolling through such a beautiful city is totally worth it. And the trip is just beginning. Awesome.
Ah, a foreigner.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hello. Awesome. The kids, I spoke to them in Chinese and their heads almost exploded. But anyway, what I wanted to show you are the electric scooters in the city of Nanning, which I hadn't seen in pink before. Wow, it really gives the city a unique touch. This street hair salon will make you look cool for 10 yuan. And also here they sell you cigarettes, so those who smoke can get a haircut and enjoy the local tobacco. Then cross to the unusual attraction my friend by the river suggested. Crossing the street here is tough, but they told me that in Vietnam it's even harder because there are way more motorcycles than there are e-bikes here. And now we're arriving at the Dai Dock, which was built as if it were a European city. It's pretty interesting, but it doesn't really have any deep history. As far as I know, it's just a tourist attraction where some tourist boats set sail. What a shopping mall they built here, but this is just one of many throughout the country. Ever since China opened up with the new policies of Deng Xiaoping, there was a huge craze for anything foreign, since many Chinese people had never seen a foreigner in their lives. More than 99% of the population had never been abroad, so seeing places like these was impressive for them. It became very trendy. In fact, there was a time when working for McDonald's or Starbucks was considered a high-level job. Just imagine that. Flipping burgers at McDonald's was seen as a successful career and people looked up to you. These days they don't care, and McDonald's is just another job. But it still remains in these kinds of structures that were built back then and that today are no longer so popular. In fact, there are many cities that were built with the concept of foreign cities which ended up half empty. Maybe it has to do with the new patriotic sentiment, maybe with the geographic location. But the truth is that this type of architecture is no longer in fashion, which doesn't mean it doesn't look nice. Here it marks the distances to different parts of China. For example, we are 703 kilometers from Hong Kong, 2048 kilometers from Beijing, and 758 from Sanya. It also shows directions, so you always know where you are. This pier is beautiful, but I'm surprised that one of Namen's top attractions is a castle with extensive Chinese culture and 5,000 years of history. Impressive, right? According to the tour guide. The third most recommended spot among young people is to come see the castle, this interesting one, and then, well, you can come here to eat something. Many food carts probably have great options, but it seems a bit early since not all are open. Interesting, some girls are live streaming with the castle behind them and others are dancing with a professional screen setup. They seemed a bit shy when they noticed me recording. But here is the account where you can check it out. It has to be on the Chinese TikTok Douyin. I had already seen it elsewhere in China and found it really interesting. But never as intensely or commonly as what I just witnessed. When you enter a public restroom, usually the doors are scribbled on and at first you don't pay much attention to it. But I remember that one time I asked myself, why all these scribbles? Which are often codes or passwords. So I took a picture with ChatGPT and you won't believe what it told me. It turns out that all those scribbles are actually secret web addresses for adult sites. And you probably already know that here in China there's pretty strict censorship, and that to access Western sites like YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, or even adult sites, you need a VPN. Otherwise, the internet won't work for you. But according to what I found on the internet, these are websites that are not detected by the government's firewall and are usually temporary. The point is to get people to subscribe to the video service they provide, and after a month or two, the website disappears. Then you have to check the bathroom to see which is most recent. In larger cities, you see this much less, because there's usually more control. Whenever a new website appears, they either erase or remove it and punish it harshly. In cities like Nanning, it doesn't seem to be a big issue. They even carved it into the ground, so how could you remove that? It's not like you can just change the ground all the time. It's incredible. The door was so scratched up. Honestly, I've never seen bathroom doors this scratched. And I guess it's the same all around the city. But anyway, just so you see that even within China, the locals find a way to get around the firewall. As I told you before, the city of Nanning is a second-tier city here in China. And the province of Guangxi until recently was one of the most underdeveloped, so to speak. And that's why I want to show you the average salaries in the city of Nanning, which we can see here. This one is for a restaurant, I think, or something like that. And the store manager would be paid between 4,000 and 5,000 yuan per month, which if you multiply by about 2.6, you'll get the amount in pesos. It varies from there. For example, the cook salaries range from 4,000 to 5,500, with the lowest between 2,600 and 3,200 yuan, about 9,000 to 10,000 Mexican pesos, roughly $400 to $500 a month. But also keep in mind that the cost of living here is much lower as well. But well, let's see if later we can check how much rent costs. And it's interesting because we can compare it later with the salaries and rents in Vietnam. But for now, we're in a food alley, or as they're known here, which is pretty empty. Normally, this kind of alley in other parts of the city is packed. I'm not sure if it's because we arrived early, it's Tuesday, or this isn't one of the more famous ones. Still, it's very eye-catching with all the neon lights. I always like walking through these hallways, and the thing is, you can find food from all over China. Look, there are hotels here too. I wonder how much it costs to stay in one of these little hotels. Let's see, let's go ask. Do you accept foreigners?
We don't have any rooms left.
Oh, I see. How much does a room usually cost?
80 yuan.
And aren't there any others nearby?
You'd better not even ask. They won't let you rent the room. The law doesn't allow it.
Oh, is it because of policy?
Yes, we can't scan passports.
Oh well.
I'm telling you so you don't waste your time anymore.
Of course, thank you very much. See you later. A pretty curious phenomenon. They don't accept me in any hotel in this alley. They're all budget hotels with rooms ranging from 20 yuan to 100 yuan. None of them wanted to accept me. They told me no foreigners and that they can't register me. Nowadays, that's supposed to be illegal, but I'm thinking maybe they also offer other services, so it's better not to mess with it. And since this isn't the first time this has happened to us, I recommend that you download an app called Trip.com or make your reservation on Booking.com. Because usually the hotels on these platforms are used to receiving foreigners. And if you want to do the typical backpacker thing, which is to walk through the alleys and find cheap lodging, you could get into trouble and you could end up like me at 11 at night looking for a place to sleep. I think at the end of the day I'm going to use the platform, but I wanted to see if we could do it backpacker style. It's a shame since there is truly affordable lodging. Look, a room for one person, 25 yuan, without air conditioning and with a shared bathroom. But there are some for 40 yuan, with a private bathroom and air conditioning, and for 2 people, 60 yuan. If we could stay in these places, traveling around China would be extremely cheap, but that's not the case. A hotel typically costs around 100 yuan, even in cities like Nanning. If you want a hotel, that's it. If you don't mind staying in a hostel and sharing a bed, you could end up paying about 40 or 50 yuan. But the truth is that a hostel in China is not the same experience as a hostel in Europe, because over there they really have a backpacker culture, in which there are many young people and travelers who go with the intention of socializing, while in China the hostels are mostly occupied by young people who are looking for work. It's fine here. 10 minutes costs 9 yuan. Is the massage good?
Yes.
I can tell. You convinced me. I want a massage too.
You're so handsome. You must have a Chinese wife.
No.
Are you single?
I'm married, but my wife is Spanish.
Where are you from?
I'm Mexican.
Oh, Mexico. I've heard that Mexico is a mess.
Not at all.
There's mafia.
Yes, in some areas, Mexico is a large country. Foreign news also reports negative things about China, but I know that's not true.
You can already speak Chinese.
I'm still learning. Right now, I'm practicing with you. You live and learn your whole life.
You even know Chinese proverbs.
A Chinese friend taught me. Have you been to Vietnam?
Why is it nice?
Not sure. I'm leaving now. Thank you very much. They offered me a cigarette. I don't smoke, but oh well. Suddenly the police arrive and everyone runs. Suddenly. If the police show up, everyone disappears. Oh man, Oh man. Look, all the food and clothing stands are disappearing. They're all disappearing. Everyone took off except for the massage people.
Are you comfortable?
Very much. I'm just worried the police might kick them out.
The police won't act against you.
I'm not afraid they'll take me. I just don't want my massage to end. Look, it's cool here because for 10 yuan you can try different masseurs and see which one you like best. Bye. There go my friends. They gave me 2 massages and left.
thank you.
We'll try each one until we find the best. At an establishment, massages usually cost 100 to 180 yuan or 250 for a full massage, but there's no guarantee of quality or legitimacy. Some offer other services. Here though, they rely on giving good massages to earn a living and keep customers returning. I highly recommend a street massage. Apparently, it's a completely different experience to walk around this city during the day than at night. Because a while ago, all these little stands weren't here, and I don't know when they showed up. But they turned this into a pedestrian street in just a matter of hours. Now there are a ton of food carts of all kinds, and I'm surprised how they do business because there really are a lot of them. And even though there are a lot of people, not all the stalls are selling. I don't know how they do it. You can also get your nails done, buy puzzles. It turns into a daily night market. It's not just on weekends, just so you know. One of the most popular stalls is this one selling Nike sneakers. I think they're replicas, but you never know. They may be from the official factory, but I see models I've never seen in official stores. When I think I've seen it all, this city surprises me even more, and this whole street is a market for dogs and pets and cats. Here you can come and choose your best friend for life, and there are all kinds of breeds. Look how cute. I'm concerned that these kittens and puppies are all together. It's easy for them to catch parvovirus here because people touch one and then another. And it would be really easy for all of them to get infected. It's the biggest street pet market I've ever seen. I just hope they don't eat them. It's no secret in Guangxi province. One of the traditional dishes, which you don't see as much nowadays, is dog meat. Actually, in Yangshuo, where we lived, many restaurants openly advertise it. We're ending the day on a high note, because I rented a room for 100 yuan, which is about 250 pesos more or less. When I arrived, they said all rooms were taken and upgraded me. Which is more like an apartment than a room. It has its own workspace, its desk, it has a little living room that's really nice, it's even very well decorated. And then up here is where the magic doesn't happen. Look, the room is small, but it's comfortable and has everything you need so you can work with a view of the city. Honestly, yes, I was really lucky. I don't even know how it happened, but well, Nanning is treating us well. Now I have to go to bed early because tomorrow I have to leave at 7 in the morning. See you in a bit.